Impact Wrestling's Jay Vidal talks about being a gay pro wrestler and winter warfare. The body slams, the attitude, the chaos, it doesn't matter if you're a ringside or watching at home. Professional wrestling gets the adrenaline pumping in fans. LGBTQ plus fans have loved the costumes, characters, and storylines since the days of Hulk Hogan. Yet the genre often felt intentionally heteronormative to the point of LGBTQ plus exclusion. But those days are down for the count. Impact Wrestling has a new star, Jay Vidal. He grew up here in South Florida and is out of the closet and into the ring. In this week's SFGN, online now and on stands tomorrow, I talk with the up-and-coming superstar about his journey and this weekend's SoFlo shows, the Winter Warfare. It's going to be so awesome. Jay's wanted to do this since he was 4 and tells me, quote, since that age, battling my sexuality at times and having to hide it, including when I first got into professional wrestling, I learned how important it is to not only chase my dreams, but also to show representation on top of that, end quote. Living openly and doing what he wants comes naturally to Jay. From the time we first met to the time I left, he never stopped smiling. He strikes me as genuinely happy. He credits a lot of that to his signing with Impact Wrestling, saying, quote, I feel like what Impact is doing, bringing in wrestlers from all spectrums of the LGBT community, is helping to make this normal. It is what it is. Normal, end quote. Impact Wrestling's Winter Warfare is this Friday and Saturday at the Dodge Center in Pembroke Pines. These shows are really fun and really over the top. So if you're at all interested in this, let's support a positive member of our community making a very positive change. And you know, I do a lot of celebrity interviews and I get to talk to a lot of people. He is going to stick out in my mind for a really long time. He just came down and at first, like, he's smiling and I'm like, okay, clearly the PR person told you to smile. But at some point I was like, no, you're really happy. You love what you're doing. You are saying, I'm going to do this without barriers.
He's living his dream.
He is living his dream. He is the man and the moment colliding on his terms. And I really just love this kid.
And it's not that you like him because he's very handsome and super cute.
I'm going to tell you,
right, John, we got it.
He is handsome and super cute. And he talks about how he's gone to the gym a lot in the last couple of years. I'm like, you think? But he's just awesome.
You know, I will just tell you, I have not met him, but I know that this is super interesting because of the enthusiasm you had. Yesterday, you know, when you did this interview and in pursuing it, etc., you are as jaded as it gets. And you're fangirling. It's like, that's super interesting. Yeah.
I hope he doesn't disappear. You know, like country singers when they come out, or old basketball players, they'll come out, you know, oh, I'm gay, and then they disappear. Nothing ever happens.
Are any of y'all wrestling fans?
No. Well, you know, I have a friend out in San Fran, Pollo Demar, and
Pollo Demar.
Yeah,
I love it.
and she's a now wrestling as well, and she's a big drag queen. I mean, like big drag queen. So, like, I'm like, wow, this is so much fun, and to hear another LGBTQ member on that. I mean, that was something I used to watch when I was a kid with my family, and you know, it was like one of those things, and my dad would sit there on the couch going, that's not even real. That's not even real. And then, of course, we tried a few moves off the top of the couch, you know, but like, besides that, like, I mean,
that's what started you down your lesbian path.
Yeah, that's how I knew. That's how I knew. But, you know, now I can't say that I watch it at all.
You know, it's funny for me, when John was doing this story, and I looked, you know, I'm not super familiar with Impact. When I was a kid, the World Wrestling Federation. Do you remember?
Right, WWF.
WWF.
Yeah.
When I was like 10, maybe, my mom would take me and my brother, and Robarts Arena in Sarasota was an 8,000 or 10,000 seat arena in Sarasota, and at least once a month they would come in there, and my mom would buy tickets for us, and my brother and I would go. And Dusty Rhodes was a precursor for me of Madonna and Beyonce. Dusty Rhodes was in that same category, and it was like, we loved it, and the people screamed, and we were watching a morality play. And at 10 years old, I just didn't even understand, wait, whether this is real or not, this is like Broadway.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let's just watch where the story takes us. And we loved it. Now, of course, I outgrew that, but this reignites of going, wow, I go back to those memories and think so fondly of professional wrestling. The outcome of its realness is irrelevant.
Right.
Oh, irrelevant.
Entertainment.
And one other thought to this. The reason why this is a big moment of his prominence in Impact Wrestling is this is one of those sports where men are touching each other. Okay, first off, at any time, we know the physicality of excitement and erections that can happen, etc. Just men being touched in any way.
Do you?
I'm like, I don't know what that's like. I'm with it.
Picture it.
I do agree with you.
1912. And so the reason this is a big deal to me is because he's in a hyper-masculine sport that defines, and maybe even on the edge of trying to pull back the toxic masculinity a little bit, being gay. And so when we can have representation like this, it means that we can have representation in any field, because this is one of the last fields, because of men in a sport, no matter how dramatic or planned the sport is, touching each other is an example where people will stop to think about anything sexual in the touch. It's the play, it's the morality story that we're watching between these wrestlers. It means that the broad community outside of LGBT will start to think about us in a different way. That's what he represents. He represents new thinking about our community, which I think is brilliant, which is one of the reasons that I love that John's done this story for SFGM. Congratulations. It's a great one.
Make sure you follow Jay Vidal now on social media, all right? He deserves our support.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.